I thought it was going to be that like, or whatever Sam did. Or
Everybody should do it together.
Screen cap it. Shane won't do it.
Shane didn't do
Oh, sorry. What am I doing?
is anything happening, or are we just all doing it?
No, we're just doing it for no reason.
Yeah, we're done recording.
Hey everybody, my name is Sam Cook and welcome to a special episode of The Shot Remastered. Today, we are going to get inside the brains of our judges. So let's meet them right now. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Jennifer Beavis.
We put our hands together.
We put our hands together.
I was like, audience.
Shane Christopher Neal. Hello.
Boo.
No. Jessie T in the house.
My
Yeah,
cool
okay.
sleeves.
Slow clap.
Sleeves.
Oh, yeah.
CJ Allen. Woo woo.
Oh yeah, him.
Oh, was there less clapping
Boo.
there?
I deserve that.
Boo.
Yeah. And our new judges, Kate Davies and Eric Johnston. Say hi to these two guys.
Oh wow. We don't get our individuals. That's fine.
Would you like an individual? Let me go.
No, it's too late now. It's too late
Back it
now.
up.
You ruined it.
Kate
Which are
Davies.
you? Which one are you?
Yeah,
And
which
Eric
one?
Johnston. Yeah, which one are you, Eric?
Says their names right there.
You should all switch.
Yeah.
Confuse everybody.
Ooh.
Tell Eric's a comedian. Look at the top he's wearing.
Oh, let's not start on a negative note.
Oh, here we go.
Look like a turtle right now with that collar on that sweater. Let's not
He
get.
does. He looks like a ninja kid.
The feuding.
I was gonna say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but no,
Yeah.
that's not true.
I need to ask everybody, how is everybody doing? Seriously,
Great.
how's everybody doing in this crazy world right now?
Pretty good.
Never better.
To it, good for good or bad, I think.
Yeah.
Eric and I are nice and tanned.
Oh, okay, you got that right.
You don't do much.
Gab? Is that like a gab?
When you got no other plans. That's what I always say.
Do you have a skylight over your couch?
Oh,
Yeah,
my Lord.
I made it myself actually. It's a load-bearing skylight.
Jeez. Well, listen, guys, I'm so glad you were able to get together today so we could hang out for a little bit. And I thought it'd be a really cool idea for us to get to know each other and, so everyone can know a little bit more about you. So I'm going to start with sweetness. I'm going to start with Jessie T. Jessie, you beautiful, beautiful judge. You listen, I want to ask, you have been, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong, you've been on this show the longest. You have been the longest standing judge on this show. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, other than CJ, who obviously, started the whole thing out, it's been me. This will be my 4th year, I believe, as a judge. And it's been really cool to see kind of the evolution of this show. It started, as trying to find a really good singer, and throughout the process, the artistry has taken more and more of an importance. And now we're at the point that we're looking for an artist as part of this artist competition. So it's been a really cool evolution as an artist myself to see that kind of develop.
Well, as a singer-songwriter, how do you feel about competitions like this? Do you think they're worth it?
I don't know if I've ever seen a competition like this, to be completely honest with you. I've been in a lot of singing competitions, but one that really focuses on artist development and the stage coaching, down to some vocal coaching, to management coaching, to branding. I don't know if I've ever seen a competition like this. So to be able to be a part of that is a pretty cool thing.
It's very unique. People point that out all the time. It's a very, very unique experience. And speaking of experiences, last year was my first time hosting, and I noticed everybody got along great. However, at times it was a little between you and a certain judge. So talk to me a bit about that kind of relationship. You guys on good terms? And of course, I'm talking about CJ. How does that look?
We're never on good terms. No, I think, Shane. You know what?
What a
CJ and I
schmoozer.
we're both competitive, and I think that stems from the fact that our birthdays are on the exact same day. We're both born January 13th, so I think
Same year.
not the same year. No, exact. Thanks, Jen.
That's for sure.
But I think we both have a competitive edge, and we like to see who can do the most with whoever we're given. But it's always a friendly competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We'll see this year.
Can I say that I think that Jessie has all of the wisdom and experience and talent, and CJ is just trying to ride the wave a little bit and create some friction at times, but that's just my opinion.
Sounds very
I'm only the
CJ.
second year here, so I don't know.
Yeah, who asked you?
That's so kind of you, Shane. I'll pay you on the way out.
No, you have to take debit because it's COVID.
That's right. Now I'm going to move on to Kate. Now, Kate, you have got a quite lengthy resume. You've done some pretty cool stuff throughout your career. So maybe give us a 30-second synopsis about you and why you're a judge in this competition.
Well,
Yeah,
my
why are
main.
you a judge? Just kidding.
What'd you say?
I said, yeah, why are you a judge in this competition?
I really thought
What
about
do you
that
know?
one.
Who asked you?
No, pretty much my main reason for wanting to be part of this is the original music aspect. I love that it's all about the artist. Even though I've worked at really big companies, I've always been an indie person at heart. So that really speaks to my passion in the industry, is finding that diamond in the rough that we can help get to where they need to be and who might not know what to do to get there, kind of thing.
Is there an artist that you've worked with that we might know that you kind of look at them and go, I did that. I helped that person become who they are. Is there someone that, you've met throughout your career that you can say that about?
Yeah, you want a name drop or?
Well,
Eric
okay.
Johnston.
I'm okay with the name dropping. Like the one that actually came to mind first was Posey. Season 1 of the launch, because I literally saw her by chance on YouTube when I was looking up another band. I was just looking up covers by this band, and she popped up on the second page, and I was like, ooh, this girl has a really cool voice. She happened to say that she was in London, Ontario studying music. So I was like, perfect. She's Canadian too. That's amazing. And I reached out to her, asked her if she wanted to be part of the launch. And we kind of like developed a great working relationship from there. And it's been really cool seeing her, just go from her parents' bedroom, basically playing piano, to seeing her on that stage on the final episode was so cool. And now she has a flourishing and growing career with a great management team. And yeah, it's really awesome to see.
I mean, you must feel so proud about that. I know, I've seen some of the artists come from this show, and even though I'm not a judge, as hosts, just watching them cross the stage and then seeing them on these bigger platforms, I'm proud. So you must be so proud of that. So that's really cool. That's really cool. I didn't actually know that about you. So that's really cool. Thank you so much, Kate. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on to the other new judge, Eric. Now, apparently you are the people's judge.
That's what I've been saying.
I mean, okay, explain.
This is where most of the people don't like that judge. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to me about people's judge. What is?
I don't know.
What is
I don't
that?
even know what that means. You brought it up. Did I say that?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I'm an
Many
everyman. Okay. So when I came onto the show, I think my whole thing was I'm not in the music industry. I'm in the entertainment industry, and I've been there my entire life. I started acting at age 6, and I'm going to be 30 in 1 month. Whoa, I'm getting old, guys. Getting old. And I've been doing it for my entire life, and I know what talent looks like, and I also know what passion looks like, and I know what truth looks like. I've been experiencing that not only with my own career but other careers. And when CJ, I think this season, why I'm here, And why I was talking to CJ about this when he first asked me to be on the show. I said to him, there's no covers in comedy. In comedy, you have to do 100% your material or it's over. If you get caught doing like one line from another comedian, it's over. So you have to bear your truth at all times as a stand-up comic. And now with this season, with the originals, with the eliminating of the covers, I'm seeing people's truth and their story, and that's why I'm a man of the people and a man of the leopard print shirts, a man of and the jewelry. I'm that kind of man.
So he's saying if this goes wrong, it's my fault.
Yes, exactly. Thanks for asking me to be on the show.
You're welcome.
DJ told me he just couldn't find anybody else. So this is news.
He's like, who's available? I know comedians aren't working right now.
Hey, you know what? I want to ask you one more question, Eric. You know, stand-up comedy is hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of times you've been told no, and there's a lot of artists out there who
Thanks for
keep
bringing that
trying
up.
and
Okay,
trying and trying. Well, it's just the fact of life, right? You know, the more you get told no, the more you push harder. Is there a time that you can remember that you were just totally crushed when someone said no? And then
I know exactly. I just talked about this recently on my show, Eric Johnston Live. Check it out. Can I do that, CJ? We'll cut that out.
Go for it.
I recently had an.
Anybody else want to make a plug?
Yeah, anyone's website? Anyone have any stickers to sell? Yeah,
JessieT.ca.
Yeah,
Sam's Cook Official.
Yeah.
Airbon. When I was 25 years old, I got my first opportunity to showcase for the Just for Laugh Comedy Festival, which is, if you know anything about comedy, is the biggest comedy festival in the entire world. This was 5 years into my career. I'm 25, so it's 5 years ago, exactly 5 years ago. I asked to get showcase. I go first in the bill, and I don't have the best set. But at this time, I'm thinking I'm ready. Like, you'd be stupid not to take me. This is it. This is my shot. I'm going to be a gala performer. And the judge, the scout, basically said, "I love your energy. I love your style. You're just not ready. You don't have a point of view yet. You're not telling your story. You're not telling your story." And I was just kind of doing a general comedy, still very high energy, still very much my voice, but just not my story. And I look back now that I've gone on and done the Just for Laughs 42 Comedy Festival and performed all over North America and all kinds of different comedy festivals. I thought to myself, thank God, because I wasn't ready. And if I would have got a gala at JFL and bombed, that would have been it. You never would have heard of Eric Johnston again, because that spreads quicker than anything. The two things that spread the most in comedy are times that a guy killed and a time that a guy bombed. I use guys in general, guy and girl, bombed or killed. But also what's really bad is a mediocre set. When you're not memorable, people go, "Oh, he wasn't ready to be here." And now I can look at that 5 years later and like think, "Oh, I could." Throw me on that stage blindfolded. I've been on tour for the last 5 years finding my voice. So yeah, sometimes you have to hear no. And as much as we as judges hate saying it when we're like, "I don't know, it might be a no, you're not quite ready," I just think about that time. I know they're not ready, and you have to play in the minor leagues before you can hit the majors, and you got to practice in the minors. So that's it.
Awesome. That's a great question. And just one more. Why don't you like to wear sunscreen?
Did CJ write that into the script?
No, I was just curious.
I wear sunscreen. I just make my own. It's cacao oil or whatever that's called, cocoa shea butter, and I put a little SPF in it. But I like to see burns turn bronze. This isn't the healthiest advice, but if you're watching, burns always turn bronze, and I am a bronze goddess right now.
Unless you're Scottish. God. If you're Scottish, then you're always white, skin pale. That's all you get. Thanks so much, Eric. I appreciate that. Moving on to the man with the tats. He's all tatted up and ready to go. So Shane.
He looks ready to go.
Up right now.
Wake up, Grandpa.
No, listen. Seriously, for someone that wants to get a tattoo, I heard you have several. What's your favorite?
I can't show you, but my animal tattoo, which, by the way, this artist created from scratch, just hand drawing it. And you know, if you go to places like New York and LA and Nashville, and people are just in love with your tattoo, you know you got a good tattoo. You know, so yeah, the animal tattoo. And again, he just kind of created it, and it's been tattoo that I hear the most about. I'd show you, but I can't. It takes a long time for me to take my clothes off.
Oh, we're gonna lose our funding.
Now, listen, you travel or used to.
Well, I used to travel, yes.
And every time I'm looking through social media, I'm always like, this guy is literally traveling everywhere. And you get to meet some cool people and interview some cool people. So I guess my question's a 2 for 1. Where's the best place you've traveled to, or the place you enjoy going the most? Number 2, best artist you've interviewed in a while. Might be a hard question, but I mean.
No, you know what? I like big cities. So I was supposed to be in New York last week, and I'm just a fan of New York because in New York, there's such a great music vibe in the villages, and you can get everything from rock to jazz to big bands in a little club, and going to jazz clubs and paying your $20 minimum and seeing some artists that I've never heard of, but you take something away, you learn something from them, not only as artists but as people, because New Yorkers are like the coolest people ever.
Oh yeah.
So I probably have to say New York, although it doesn't sound too exciting, but artist interviews. You know what? Because I just did this last week, but because I'm a drummer, Garrett Goodwin's a good friend of mine who's been drumming for Carrie Underwood for about a decade now. And I guess conversations with drummers are my favorite because I can relate to them a little bit more. So I'd probably say he's one of my favorite people to interview. Biggest names, though, I'd say Dave Ellefson from Megadeth. I mean, you're selling 100 million albums. That's, So hope that answers your question.
No, that's amazing. And do you have a tattoo of a drummer or anything to do with drums on your body?
I can't show you that. My very first tattoo is on my back over here, and it is a devil drummer.
Love it.
Nice.
I said I would only get one and never again. That's what I told my mother. She's 85, still living, and very disappointed in me.
No, I'm sure she loves you. All right, let's move on to Jen. So Jen, last year, you were a really important judge, and you had a lot to say, and you've got a lot of experience as well in the music biz.
You've got a lot to say.
Yeah, no, you do. And like, you had some great advice for the artists last year. And I guess, same kind of question that I asked Kate, kind of sum up your experience in 30 seconds or less, because you do something really cool that maybe not many people know about or understand. So tell us a little bit about that.
30 seconds. Well, I'm a lot older than Kate, so that's difficult to do. I've always been in music publishing specifically, so I've always wanted to do that ever since I was a kid and a nerd and got into what copyright meant. So my entire 28-year career has been in music publishing. So I've heard a lot of music, even though I'm on the administration side, always have been, always will be. It's understanding, how music makes money, but also why it makes money. I have analyzed all kinds of music over my entire career. I've been involved with acquisitions of catalogs, and just understanding why something was a hit versus why something had just a momentary blip on the screen, how country lasts longer than pop, than all these other things, and just gained a knowledge of that. But mostly I've worked for music publishers over the years. I've worked for collective societies, those people that make the royalties for your your digital downloads now, and just gained a lot of understanding, and equally knowing the pitfalls. I've done a lot of guest lecturing, and that based on that experience, I can tell people where the pitfalls might be. And I was really happy last year how a lot of the contestants were asking me a lot of questions about what does this mean? What does that mean? Rather than just saying, oh, I don't have to think about that. I'm really, really pleased about how artists, songwriters are getting more knowledgeable about their rights and their understanding. So as I say, like my whole, coming up 55 years of listening to music, I think I've got a decent ear, even though I might not have done, a lot of A&R, as we call it in the business. But knowing what works and what doesn't work, and being a music fan first and foremost, you can see where you can see the drive, you can see the passion, you can see all these things, you can see whether or not somebody is phoning something in, and it becomes apparent.
Now, I guess when you are a singer and a really good singer and you're singing a song that Bob wrote, that's great. But if you want to get paid, you want to be the person that wrote the song and performed it. Am I wrong in that?
There's just different structures of royalties for all of those things. And more recently, I guess it's now like 23 years ago, you can make money as an artist who sings the song. But prior to that, it was songwriting is the most lucrative. And what was I watching? Like a show recently. Oh, I was watching the Laurel Canyon series.
Oh yeah.
And somebody, even in film footage from the 60s, somebody said, man, what you want to do is you want to make sure you own your own publishing. That's where you're going to make your money. That's where it's going to be. That's where the longevity is. To see that even in the 60s, before anybody knew about all this stuff, I was like, that's great, because not a lot of artists understood that at all. And of course, the Beatles being one of the first, or we could say Buddy Holly was even before that. Otherwise, there was songs were written by songwriters and artists performed them. But to really actually see footage and from like 1968, where somebody's like, no, the money's in the owning the songs, man. It was really kind of cool.
That is really cool. And you know what else is really cool? CJ's dad jokes. Are you a fan?
Well, yeah, but CJ has dad jokes, but so does Jessie.
Do you want to hear one?
I actually, yes.
No.
How did the penguin build his house? He glued it together.
Sam, do not encourage her. Samantha, that is the fakest laugh.
You loved it.
Oh!
That was a good one.
Oh my gosh, I'm falling apart. Oh God, that was funny. Okay, sorry.
Please.
Included.
Jessie, I have one for your shirt today.
Okay.
Where did the flamboyant army general keep his armies?
Where?
In his sleeveys.
I'm not sure if I should be laughing at that, should I?
For her sleeve.
I said they kind of look like those dragons that they're when they get scared and they're
Feeling my thunder.
Oh, I needed that laugh. Oh my goodness.
See, that's a well-written bit.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's got an act out and everything.
Oh, CJ, you're not
CJ.
CJ, why aren't you laughing?
Because he's jealous.
Jessie.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, you know what? Let's talk, CJ. We're gonna talk, you and me right now, because this is your baby. This is your show, The Shot Remastered. Why remastered?
It's a different show. It's not shut up, Eric.
It's a different show.
It's a different show.
Can't you see that?
It's a different show.
Okay.
It's all the originals. It's no longer covers. It's more of an artist competition now than it is a singing competition. And it needed a new look to go along with the whole new concept.
Okay.
And soon it's going to.
So now we're at the Brady Bunch.
Yeah. No, soon it's going to need a couple new judges too.
How dare you?
So it's not a secret that one of my favorite shows that I really enjoy watching, my guilty pleasure, is I love watching America's Got Talent. And, one of my favorite judges on that show was Simon. And I noticed that a lot of people tend to say you're the Simon of The Shot Remastered. Does that bother you at all?
Sometimes, but not really. I guess it's sort of given me a complex, but I've grown into it. It's all about ego now.
Next week.
Well, no, I still have to maintain some of my own individuality. It's all in the words and the use of the eyes.
He's not the Simon. He's the CJ.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm the better version of Simon.
Right.
Simon was
You're way
scripted.
more successful than he is, obviously.
No, Simon was scripted.
Broker or better?
I'm not. Yeah. Simon was scripted. I'm not scripted.
That's true.
And CJ's chest isn't hairier, as far as I know. Hairy.
Mm-hmm.
As far as
That's
I know.
hairy.
Thank you.
Well,
Well, you know what?
CJ just calls a spade a spade. That's all it is. He's a spade caller. That's it.
Yep.
And, you know, and I love it too. Like, I mean, this is kind of your baby, the show, and you brought us all together, and it's really awesome. So thank you.
Everybody has regrets.
Wait a minute, what?
What a jerk.
Oh, now that you've made us all sad, maybe you can cheer us up with one of your dad jokes. You got a dad joke for us?
I don't want to brag, but I just finished a jigsaw puzzle in a week.
I don't know why I'm laughing. Sorry, go on.
And it said 2 to 4 years on the box.
Oh my God.
That's barely.
Sam, that's enough.
Sam
That's
loves these dad
Jessie,
jokes.
Jessie wants to so
I have
badly.
been locked up in this house since March 14th, so I'm gonna laugh. Good God.
My landlord says he needs to come and talk to me about how high my heating bill is. I said, come on in. The door is always open.
Oh my God.
Oh, good Lord.
Can't the whole thing.
Okay.
Mm.
Good.
All right,
You're
we're gonna
welcome,
move
Sam.
right along. We're gonna talk about the judges, and we're gonna ask questions and see how well you guys kind of know each other. So I'm gonna start with Jennifer. How would you describe your judging style?
Oh, geez, I didn't. My judging style. I would say, yeah, I'm cards on the table. I think I am, as you know, most of my other life outside of judging. Yeah, I'm cards on the table. I wouldn't consider myself mean, but I'm going to be frank. I mean, there's many times that these guys will laugh through your
I
last
thought
year,
you were Jen.
and then I would be, but I would be like, these guys would wax eloquent about why they're saying no, as opposed to me last year in the live auditions. I go, nope.
Shut it down.
Shut it down. I'm not going to say why, or because at least sometimes, and CJ used to kind of say don't do that, but again, because I'm not an A&R person and all these, I would if I didn't have anything to say about the song or what have you, then I kind of felt like maybe I'll leave it to the artists or the artist managers or anything like that to comment that way. So, but there are also other times where it's just like, no, and there's nothing more to say. I'm not going to couch it in any way. And, you know, there'll be times actually last year where I was in disagreement with everyone else, right? CJ, remember that? Everybody be like, yep. And I'd be like, nope. And I would elaborate if I could elaborate, like, unlike I'm doing right now.
Well, Shane, do you think that's accurate? Do you think that's actually the way Jen describes it? Is that how you see her as a judge? How do you see Jen as a judge?
What kind of language can we use here? No, I'm kidding. No, you know what? She one thing I love about her is that Jen is like dialed in. Like when someone's up there, like she's paying attention to every little thing, and especially about the song and how the song is formed and about the lyrics. And I think she's just honest, and she'll tell you what she thinks. And I don't think she's mean. I just think that her opinion is what it is, and she wants you to know her opinion. So I think that's pretty accurate. Is that what you're trying to say, Jen? Because that's what I see it as.
Yeah, I think so. I like I say, I will comment on the songwriting and whether or not I'll go on and say, just give me a chorus. That's all I'm asking, folks. That's where I kind of get
I can tell when you're listening to a song, you're waiting for something. Oh, there's the chord. There's the hook. Like every time someone's up there, you're waiting for certain moments. And if there's a moment missing, you point that out.
Right. I would agree with that. Yeah.
Jessie, what's Shane like as a judge?
Oh,
The love of her life.
I like asking someone else what they are like.
Well,
just remember, Jessie. Oh,
Shane's
see?
God, it is
wow.
Shane's my TV hubby. So yeah, we're the gross ones on the panel. No, you know what? One of my favorite things about having Shane on the panel is he has such a vast knowledge on what works on radio, what is commercial. And so sometimes I get lost in the technical side of things, the vocal coach, the artist, how are you moving? What do you look like? And Shane's just like, this is marketable. This is what people are going to enjoy. And kind of the same as Jen, like he calls it like he sees it. And also his enthusiasm that he brings to things that he truly enjoys is one of my favorite things about Shane.
The after party is what we truly enjoy. That's what she's saying.
Yes.
Exactly.
There was an after party?
You were.
No.
We were going to go home.
Yeah.
Let's chat to our two new judges, Eric and Kate. I mean, these guys all, obviously have a rapport. They've been working together for a while. Two of them are in love. One's like Simon. There's dad jokes. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. How do you guys feel about working with these guys? Do you guys have that kind of good feeling vibe going on right now, just coming into this competition?
Well, do you?
Yes.
Dot.
No, I'm just joking. No, I love
go ahead,
everyone. I think everyone's super cool, and everyone has like their own unique personality, which I love. Like everyone's really different, but I think that that's what's going to make the season really cool is everyone will have their own opinion on an artist. And like I kind of want to see some battles happen too. I love a good battle with another person, so I'm excited if that happens.
Eric, what about you?
Yeah,
are you feeling it?
Of course, I feel everything. I do.
Oh, including the
my bracelet I just knocked off.
And the sunburn.
And sunburns too.
Okay, guys, let's not. I am a bronze god. No, I think the fact that we can joke around like we can already. Within the first 20 minutes, Shane and I were going at each other like pretty heavy. So much so that CJ to be like, "Okay, guys, calm it down." Oh yeah, we're doing a TV show. It's positivity. But I think I know that I'm a big personality. I think I've based my life on that. So when I come into a thing, the biggest thing is learning how everybody moves and and when to pick your spots and when to let someone talk and you learn that in improv, you learn that in comedy, and you learn that by just being a human being. And I think we've all found a balance pretty quickly, being like, okay, well, Jesse's going to think about it. So that gives Shane and I time to talk some crap here. And CJ's going to be fiddling with a pen for 45 minutes. And then we'll come back to him. I think you kind of see everyone works, and it's interesting to watch. And it's a collaborative. We're a good team.
And speaking of team, I mean, CJ, again, oh my God, I thought you were putting a ciggy in your mouth there.
I thought, no, this is in lieu of it.
Yeah.
So CJ, for you, I mean, putting a team like this together, I mean, everybody, loves the music business, and there's a lot of people that you could have selected to sit on this panel and be a judge and be a host. And, you selected us. How was that process for you? And, was there a method behind your madness?
Like I said, everybody has regrets. But this is not one of mine. I think this is a really
good save.
Yeah.
A really great group. It's different from any other panel that we've had. I think there's great diversity in experience in this group. And I think we all really clicked right away from, we've never been together in person yet. And so the first time that we've actually got together as a group was when we started filming episode 1, I think, was the first time that we all actually came together. We didn't have any get to know you time. And the first 10-15 minutes before filming episode 1 was our introduction to one another as a group. And it really did just go together very nicely. I was pleasantly surprised, I have to admit. The rapport that Shane and Eric have is really cool. Kate and I had some moments where we agreed and disagreed. Jessie and Jen, they can have some difference of opinion sometimes too, but I think that Eric and Kate have really gelled in with the 4 of us that are back.
Well, I kind of feel like you guys all think you know each other. Like y'all know each other so well. And but now I'm going to put you to the test. So I have a couple of questions here that I'm going to ask you, and you guys will have to decide who you think fits the question. So do you have okay, so Jessie's ready. She's got her papers ready to go. So
I had mine done previously. I didn't do them
her.
just right now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, me too.
For sure.
Okay. So I'm going to ask a question. You pick the name that you think is the answer to the question and hold it up to the camera so we can see what you guys think. So this is going to be a little fun game here.
Does that include yourself too?
Well, I didn't write any names out. I probably should have. I did not do. I'm a slacker.
Hosting 101.
I know, right? I didn't think I was going to be part of the cool kids. I probably should have.
He's the
You're the
coolest kid in
boss.
the bunch. Yeah.
You're the coolest of the kids. You're the
I
boss.
should have.
True.
You know, I don't have time to write them out now, so I'll just say who I think. So here we go. So which now I really wish I did this. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna
talk amongst yourselves, guys.
Okay, here we go. First question. Which judge do you think has the shortest attention span? Please hold up your answer.
Remember. What if I change my answer?
Okay, I feel attacked already.
Yes.
Hang on.
Oh, hold on.
I have an answer, Jet.
Okay, we got 2 CJs, 2 Shanes, 2. You're the tiebreaker, baby.
What's it say?
Eric.
Oh, yeah.
Attention span, just because I'm looking at myself in the Zoom call and not anybody else doesn't mean I don't have an attention
What's
span.
this to, Eric?
Is that a sunburn? Oh, God. Between sunburns, rosacea, and gluten sensitivity, my face is just always red.
Now, when we asked you all prior to this show, it was actually a tie. You guys said Eric. It was a tie between Eric and CJ.
Thank
So
you.
that was the tie. And so I was kind of the tiebreaker there. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
Right.
Okay, next question. Which judge do you think is the most high maintenance?
Oh, God.
That's easy.
Thank God it didn't say
That's
host
easy.
and or judge, because
High maintenance.
who is the most high maintenance?
But you know what? I think I remember having an issue with that. Question.
So we're waiting for Jen.
Yep.
I regret putting so much effort into everybody's drawings, okay?
CJ, so it looks like Eric's taking that one home. All right.
Yeah, look at Eric.
Yes.
So
This is one thing I don't want to win.
when we did a pre-poll, actually Jessie took that one home.
Yes.
When we did the
Literally
pre-poll.
3 times on it.
I love the pre-poll. Now
The
everyone's attacking me.
great, yeah, because when you're doing the pre-poll, you can attack anybody, but when you're like with each other, it's a lot different.
Guys, I don't know why you would even say that I'm high maintenance. I really
Not at all.
feel that is my
I
ring
want to
straight?
know why Jen thinks I'm high maintenance.
Oh, here we go. See, this guy
You do
can
have
dish
that
it, but he
collar
can't
and
take
that
it.
vest going on.
I want to know what's under the umbrella. I was just going to say what makes me high maintenance, and then asking that question, I guess, already answers
Oh, can we
it.
count the ways?
Wow. You
I don't think Jet's high
don't
maintenance.
know.
Thank you, Jen.
She wears high heels.
And
That's true.
jangly earrings, we've learned on episode 1.
We did.
We have a 3-minute Zoom, and Jessie's gone to the hair salon and got her nails done, and it's like,
Managed to go
hello.
and get food.
Yeah,
Okay,
the eating is always hilarious. We're having like a serious talk, and you see Jessie like legs crossed eating broccoli. She's like, "What? What are you talking about?" I don't know. That's high maintenance. It's more funny.
I get. I do
Okay,
do a lot of
we're
things.
moving on. We're moving on.
Yeah, we should.
Next question. Which judge do you think is going to be the nicest this season? Could be previous or current judges.
Okay, I'm ready.
Who's gonna be the nicest?
Oh,
Kate,
landslide.
Only you
Kate,
can
Kate,
hear what I
Kate.
say in my head.
Jane and all right, Kate took that one
Put it
home,
right
and
there.
Hands
actually,
down.
when we did a pre-survey, the majority did also say that Kate is going to be the nicest, and Jen, you were a close second. Sorry, Jessie.
Yeah, what?
Told you all.
I want to tell you this. Kate is going to be the nicest because she has a nice tone and a nice delivery, but what she says isn't always the nicest. Delivering it, you see.
I often hear Kate say, you know what, guys? I don't like this at all.
It's all about qualifying. Like, I don't mean to be rude, but
let me be rude.
Drop the mic.
Didn't you say at one point in filming that one of them was actually the worst you had ever heard? Like, this person should not sing ever.
Yes.
Actually, that's true. Yeah.
I'm a silent inside for sure.
See, it's funny because a lot of the contestants, I remember one of them was saying Jessie T puts all of Manitoba through. So I'm very happy to split the role with you, Kate.
Wow.
Sweet.
I thought I was putting all of Newfoundland through just by chance.
I can't believe anybody considered me nice either, but that's nice things.
Hey, you know what? That's the result. So they don't lie.
Maybe I just know you better.
All right, next question. Which judge do you think is going to be the meanest this season?
Oh, I don't like this question.
I know why you don't like this question, because you're a jerk. Oh, come on. Now you're just attacking me.
You know what?
Eric, Jen, me.
Kate says herself.
You guys are adorable. When we did the pre survey, it said CJ was going to be the meanest, they thought, but in the survey, all but one of the judges said, someone said Jessie was going to be the meanest, and also Shane as well. So.
Interesting.
I'm not mean. Just because I told that kid to shave his beard last week doesn't make me mean.
I'm going to be cutthroat this year.
You've been doing that a lot. It's like your thing.
I'm trying to get used to it.
So I was going to ask who you think the funniest judge is going to be, but I think we kind of know the answer to that, Jessie. Yeah. So we're going to skip past that because it's definitely Jessie. Just kidding. Funniest judge? Anybody?
Okay, well, we know this one.
Me, Eric. Uh-oh, CJ, you can
tell CJ.
Kate.
Come on, CJ. Yes, Shane, I made a believer. Yes.
Oh, you guys.
Boom.
I'll split my
I better be the funniest judge, because if I lose to a music publisher, I'm in the wrong business.
Hey.
Wow, this one's crazy. The results for this one is crazy. But which judge do you think takes the longest to get ready, or who do you think will take the longest to get ready for filming?
Except for today.
Okay, I have two answers to this. One changed today. First.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think.
Oh, wow. You can't hold. Okay, yeah.
Jessie. All right. Well, most
Jessie
of you in the pre-survey, most people said it was going to be Eric.
You know what? I actually have my pre-show ready down to a science. I can get ready in 5 if I need to, but if I have some more time.
That's fair. I have to eat.
That is true.
It's not eating that makes you take a long time. It's having to go to the bathroom constantly.
Oh,
no way.
Yeah.
I'm a big peer. Don't worry, Jessie. I pee all the time too.
Oh wait, I'm thinking of myself. It's me that has to pee a lot.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's not me. I just do doodles.
Like
I thought you said doo-doos. I was like,
I just do doo-doos.
Doo-doos.
Sorry, I'm late, guys. I was doing a doo-doo.
I thought that's what she said. I just do doo-doos, guys.
all right, sure.
Okay, going back to the funniest again. Here we are.
It's all you. It's all you. It's all you, Jessie T.
It's not what the votes say.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, that was
facts
funny.
are facts.
Which judge is most likely to cry during an audition?
Oh.
And I'll be honest with you, while these guys are getting their answers ready, there was some tear jerkers last year, and I really had to hold back the tears because it can get very emotional during the show. So let's
Hold on, I'm deciding.
We got a me. Okay, you decide.
Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Yes, across the board.
Jessie.
Understood.
Jessie. So
With a
when we did the pre-survey, most of the group did say Jessie, but somebody also said Eric was going to cry.
You think it was
Yeah.
Shane? I will say
it would be
this.
Shane, yeah.
I am an emotional cancer and I've been known to cry in public, but we'll try to hold it back this season.
I feel like
you're
every
wrong.
time I look over at Jessie during filming, she's crying. Every time. And now Jessie's crying again. And here's
Waterproof
Jessie crying.
mascara.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's an emotional show. It really is.
It
Yeah.
is.
Okay, guys, I got a couple more for you here. Which judge do you think the artists will like the most?
Oh, easy.
He's gonna put his name up. Yeah.
I'm not getting on the board. I'm not getting on the board.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah.
No name on this one.
Okay, well, according to the survey, the person that you guys thought the artist would like the most is Shane.
What?
What?
He
Yeah.
was drunk when they filled that out.
Yeah.
You?
So I saw,
Me?
Jen, I saw you had written Shane Christopher Neal there on your piece of paper. Why Shane?
Because he likes to yuck it up, and he likes to like stand and address the crowd when we're on a break.
Oh yeah.
Hold court.
That's true.
Likes to
Rockstar
hold
syndrome.
court.
Likes to be down with the the kids. Yeah.
Now,
You also be the guy like, anyone's nervous, I got Jack Daniels in my pocket.
How can you get up and speak in front of all these people? Do you know how much I had to drink?
He's always out there holding court.
well, speaking of crying, which judge is most likely to make an artist cry during an audition?
Oh, come on.
Oh man.
I didn't like that question.
I thought you wrote them.
Just because of the dad.
Actually,
joke.
you know what? No. Kate, how'd she go from the nicest judge to the one that makes people cry?
You know what, though? Kate knows her stuff, and I feel like, you're not going to hold back because it's your reputation on the line. And if you've been working with some of these great artists, the last thing you want to say is, yeah, you're totally great, when they're not. And so I think that's going to be hard for you to give that real feedback and tell them honestly. So
I don't think so. I think Kate will tell honestly. But again, it's Kate's delivery. It's
Right.
when something's said nicely, but it's mean, that's when it cuts the deepest. That's what I think.
Yeah.
See,
say that again, CJ. When
Think
what?
about it for a sec.
when I'm mean, I'm direct about it. But Kate has this soft way of delivering that punching comment.
It's like an angel telling you suck. You're like, what?
I would
But
just
your
I
soul
would never
doesn't like
sing
me?
again or do anything in the music business. Thank you. And
Yes.
that's
Like
so nice.
you
but-
show up at the pearly gates
Thank
and
you.
St. Peter says you're in the wrong place.
Look at her background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight shot to the
That's what I'm
basement.
talking
It's been
about.
my whole struggle of life. I could be like the softest and nicest person because I'm not. I don't have the soft little voice. I'm not blonde. Everybody thinks
Well,
I'm
you
mean.
are. Are you blonde?
You
Is
know
that
what,
bad?
Kate? If
You
you
are
and I go
blonde.
to hell, it's gonna be warm and we're gonna know people. Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna be quite comfortable.
Will we get tanned?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you can get burnt with
This
me.
is going gray, not.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I wanted to ask you guys as well, because you all look pretty good today.
Thank
But
you.
who has
Today.
the best
We know.
fashion sense?
Oh, easy.
Is it cheetah print over there? Is
That's a
it
leopard.
No.
green turtleneck? Is
Filming?
it me, Jen? And honestly,
Nuts.
when we did the
Suck up.
pre-survey, the winner, the resident fashionista, if I said that right,
Fashionista.
Fashionista.
was Jennifer Beavis.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
And
You guys
keep an
didn't see
eye.
my orange boots last year. That's why.
I saw them and loved them with, everything that I am. You definitely have some great clothes. That's
Wait
for
till I
sure.
call my tuxedo sponsor. You're all dead.
All right. Lastly, which judge would you most like to sit next to during filming? So if you had the chance to sit beside any one of you, Who would you want to sit beside?
Ready for this?
Everybody. I'm not picking.
Shane.
Kate.
Aww.
Brothers in arms. Jessie, get away from my man.
And Kate, Shane.
Jane wants to sit next to a mirror.
Yeah, I was
Always.
it's Jen and I have a lot of fun, but Shane's my hubby, guys. Get away from him.
It's weird that no one else said Eric. That's totally
No,
weird.
they don't. We're gonna put you on the end, maybe definitely 6
If
feet
you guys
away
don't like
from
the
everybody
smell of
else.
4 different types of cologne, don't sit next to me.
Kate and I like the banter. We're looking for the argument and a bit of a fight. So it'd just be easier if you and I are next to each other. It'd be a whole lot easier for camera to get us fighting with each other.
And we'll just social distance you right at the back there, Eric. So if we want to hear from you,
Jenny
we'll
Versace.
we'll give you a holler.
Can I ask one question?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Who is your favorite host?
Sam.
Oh, now Shane's my shot husband.
I'm going to say Eric.
Shane does make people cry. Didn't he win that?
I know.
Wow, what a schmoozer.
Love him. Love him.
Suck up.
Right. That's right. Thank you. That was really sweet.
Well, like we were talking about hitting it off. I think we all hit it off last year when we were even in the photo session right away, right? And you were there, Sam. So yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. That's one of the things that I really missed this year. I loved going to that photo shoot and just hamming it up and getting to really know you guys. It was so scary and fun. So hopefully when, things lift and things are back to normal, who knows? We'll do another photo shoot.
And I'll be sunburned for it.
You'll definitely, you will. Now this is really cool. The shot remastered. I mean, as we wrap up the show right now, it's been really cool kind of getting to know you guys, learning a little bit about everybody. But let's just kind of pull it back a little bit and chat about what we've seen so far. So I'm not sure who to ask. Maybe I'll start with you, CJ, but are there any standouts that you've seen so far that maybe you can tell us about, or, kind of who to keep an eye on? We'll start with you, CJ, and anybody can answer, but.
Artists that we've seen so far?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I want to name. Yeah, there are. I mean, this whole crop of artists, now that we've turned in the direction of original music, I think they've been really great overall. And aside from artists not following instructions with the demo videos, which clearly made me upset in one episode, I think that there are some really great country voices. That's a genre that's really well represented this season. And I think it's the first time in a long time that we've had those strong country artists. I think there's some unique voices that may be surprising to the audience when they finally get to perform. That's my answer. I'm going to be cagey about that one and let everybody else drop names.
Yeah,
I know that. Go ahead.
I was going to say I agree. I don't want to say any names right now. I would agree with CJ as well as saying a lot of great country voices. There was one artist that sticks in my mind, but for me, not seeing it last year, was that type of music performed sticks out for me. Not going to name names because I don't remember any right now. And
that's my issue. I would name names, but I don't remember any of their names.
I'm terrible for that, and I usually have a good memory. But the other thing is, make your bed.
Yeah, move the plants.
Close your cupboards.
Your closet.
Now, Jen, I'm going to ask you and Kate as well. We're in the second round now, and the artists are working on their pitch packages, and only 40 are going to be going through in the third round. So when you evaluate the packages, what are you guys going to be looking for specifically? So Kate, I'll start with you.
It's always such a hard thing to answer because it's more of a feeling that I get than I'm not like necessarily ticking off boxes as I go. I mean, I feel like they're naturally being ticked off in my head without me being totally aware of that, but it's just looking for something unique, something memorable. So I already have 2 artists that I remember really well, so that's already a good sign. And then just like confident and knowing who you are. That's the number one thing. Like,
I think I can say that one that we, sorry to interrupt there, but one that we all remember would be Logan Klaus.
The kid with the really good video.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
right.
it.
The best
Win the
demo
whole thing
video
just based on his entertainment.
we've ever seen, ever in any season. Best demo video.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah.
And it just proved that he cared. It proved that he could carry. It proved that he's an entertainer at heart. Because here's the thing: in life, in the entertainment industry,
Oh, here we go.
as we all know, I think if we're going to really slow things down here and talk about our feelings, no.
I put my feet up.
I think there's some guys, there's guys and girls, there's some people in the entertainment industry who have gotten very far just based on entertainment factor. And if you can be that entertaining and then back it up with a good singing voice, ain't nothing slowing that kid. Even if he doesn't win this contest, doesn't need us. Doesn't need us, but he needs us. Okay, he needs us, but he doesn't need us. He's going to be fine with or without us. The fact that he had the balls to do it and do it well, I was like, this kid's good. He's going to be great.
When did Shane go and change?
I had to show my tattoo off because remember we were talking about it.
Yeah.
I noticed he just.
Is that like Grover? Or I mean,
literally
Animal.
Animal.
Oh,
it's Animal.
I thought you
Oh,
meant an animal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I thought it was like a
Animal.
leopard or
It
something.
was like the unknown
You
animal.
should have said Animal from the Muppet Show. How in the script was that?
That's why I showed it. See?
Right. Anyway,
love
sorry,
it.
Sam.
No, and I guess Jen, for you, what kind of pitfalls, if maybe that's not the right word, but what can an artist do that's going to make you go, heh? So what advice do you have for them?
Do that noise again, Sam.
That's exactly what Jen was doing.
Just screenshot it on that. Heh.
You'll love that. Yeah.
Sam's got
the
you
cover.
down to a T.
I think what I will like be thinking about all the time, again, over and over again, is listening to the lyrics. I tend to like just focus on that. So while our EPK will have all kinds of information, I want to hear and have them evoke what their drive and their passion is, because it's not just about talent. And that's not making sense about the first part of my sentence. But what I'm saying is, one thing I'll focus on is lyrics. And that's if you can be a good songwriter, not a performer, absolutely it's going to happen. So flipping that over to the artist side, what I will be looking at is understanding their drive and their passion. And that can come across in a multitude of ways. We touched on that a moment ago about this one contestant taking their audition even very, very seriously. And we ran the gambit of people just not even clearly giving a crap about their audition. And that they could get through just on, I'm not even sure what, because there wasn't even a bunch of talent that you'd excuse it over in some cases. And that's where I would be the person that, when we were judging it, going, no, because it actually annoyed me, right? So that's what I would be looking for in the EPKs as well, is if you want to be an artist and a songwriter, 90% of your job is to also have drive. Mm-hmm. Talent is 50%, but definitely the other 50% is drive and passion. And you need that to come across.
Just the secret to success is you got to show up.
You got to show up and get in the water.
Another good tip is also like learn about the judges. Learn a little bit about each of us, because I think when you pitch, you should know who you're pitching to and what they've done in their career.
Like a job
interview.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's super important all around. Definitely, I think that's a great piece of advice. And I think you should also know too that about the romance between Shane and Jessie T. Actually, you know what? I know that they're the shot couple. What do you call yourself?
Oh, he's my TV husband.
I think
husband.
it's actually what I would call it is an inappropriate relationship.
I was gonna say this whole thing makes me super uncomfortable.
But the thing is,
May December is what
we can call it a liability. That's what it is.
we're gonna call this. Can we check with our lawyers on this one?
Yeah, thank God we have insurance.
While you're at it, though, you should check, because I kind of feel there's a little bit of a bromance happening between Shane and Eric. So this season,
I'm very comfortable with. Yes.
going down.
Started as haters and ended as lovers.
Perfect ending to.
Oh, you guys! Listen, I'm going to end with Jessie T and CJ. I mean, you guys have been around, for so many seasons. You're beloved. I mean, last year.
Which one of us?
Well,
beloved?
Neither.
No, people love you, CJ, but I will have to say, last year when I was starting the show, a lot of artists would surround Jessie and be like, yeah, you're the nice one. You're my favorite. No offense, CJ, but Jessie's got that thing. You know what I mean?
Offensive.
Like,
yeah.
No, but Jessie's got that thing. She's lovable. She's sweet. She's nice. But you're great too, CJ. So don't get me wrong. But I guess what I want to ask you guys is, because you've been, you're wonderful. We all know that you're wonderful.
Do me now. Do me.
But I want to ask you guys, I guess give me one piece of advice each on how these artists just can move forward in the competition. And we've heard some great stuff from Kate and Jen and Eric and Shane, but from you guys who've been around for so long, you've probably got some different advice than all the other judges do.
I have the lines in my face to prove it. Jessie's actually aged pretty well compared to how I've done over the last 8 years. Go ahead, Jess.
Well, I think we've said this a couple times throughout the competition, and Eric keeps saying, bring your truth. We want to see authenticity. We don't want to see you do someone else really well. We want to see someone that's invested in themselves. If you're showing up to the meeting, you already know your worth and you've invested in your own worth, then we're going to see that. But also, I think there's a true thing about being humble and admitting that you have so much to learn at any stage in your career. So use what each of these judges, like Kate was saying, we have such a diverse panel. Come into this competition and be willing to learn and ready to learn, but to also bring your A game each and every time you hit the stage. There's no time to take a back seat because we have such limited time with each of these artists. So be you, be authentic, and be ready for a good time and a lot to learn.
And I'd say that I actually have some skin in the game this season, more significantly than I have ever before, in that I'm offering the winner a management deal. And if you want to be on the same roster as Jessie T, and the quality of artist that she is, then you really do need that professionalism, because Jessie, it kind of hurts me to say nice things, but she has those qualities where she understands both the business and her artistry. And if you want to excel in this competition and have that opportunity, I'm looking for an artist that has those same characteristics as Jessie, because I'm going to be investing my time for who knows how long after this competition into that artist. And I think that's really important. Jessie nailed all the characteristics that I would have said right on the head. The authenticity, being genuine, your truth, any of those words I think are important. And they're the things that I look for in an artist if I'm going to work with them.
Well, you know what? Definitely wise words all the way around the board. And you know what, guys? I want to thank you so much.
He's not done yet.
Shane has something to say. He keeps
Oh.
flipping his finger. He's got a poker tell. Every time he lifts his finger, he wants to say something.
That really stands out and has more to do with songs and this is just for me, you got to get to a hook fast, whether it's a vocal hook, whether it's a melodic hook somehow, whether it's a musical hook, whether it's a break that's creating anticipation. I think the patient level of people today, when I get all this music sent to me, I'm talking 10 seconds in, I'm going to go, I feel this or I don't. And that's not always fair, but that's the reality. And I think that you're dealing with people that are so inundated with music and stuff. That's my only thing when it comes to a song. And I'm no songwriter, but I listen to a ton of them, and you got to get to a hook that's going to keep that person engaged and want to pay attention longer. So
it's important advice, but I also want to point out, I think I want to change my question about attention span, because Shane forgets who was actually asked the question.
it doesn't matter. I love Jessie. I love you all. It really matters today.
Put my name up.
So there you go. Yeah. All right.
It's very similar as to comedy, though. They say get to the punch. You got 10 seconds to get to a punchline, and if you don't get to it, they're not listening. Thank you. Please keep my name.
I got you, buddy.
Well, it's true. If you're looking at how many artists that we've seen already, you need to make an impression. And part of getting to a hook or getting us to know you is super important. And obviously we're focusing on artistry here. And we're focusing on a good song. We want something that we can do something with. So yeah, bring it.
And the thing
definition of artistry is the song and the performance of it. Yes.
And Jen mentioned something very important too. She said job interview, and that's exactly what round 3 of this competition is sort of like. When you come in for the label meeting, which is the 3rd round, whether it's virtually or whether it's in person, you should take it like a job interview. Only you're interviewing to work with us. And we want to see the personality. You can't just be dull when you come into a room. Stand out is huge. Nothing is more annoying to me than an artist who doesn't take their brand seriously and doesn't come in with a sense of urgency about who they are in their career.
And fun shirts, right, Eric?
Levy.
Shane?
Oh,
An animal tattoo.
That's it.
Drummer.
No,
Drummer.
you are.
No,
I'd have more
exactly who you
tattoos, but you don't put a bumper sticker on a Ferrari. You know what I'm
Kate,
saying?
do you have a tattoo?
No,
No?
I don't.
Ooh.
I don't have a
I wanted
tattoo
one
either.
for years, but I just have never done it.
You should get that forest tattooed
It
on your
hurts.
back.
On her
Kind of
back,
feels like
like a
kind of feels like a
tramp stamp.
needle going in and out of your skin a bunch of times.
I don't have one
Fun.
either, Kate. We're the pure ones.
Yeah, I don't know if that's
Yeah.
the word.
Conservative.
You're still lost.
You guys. All right, listen, before we kind of wrap things up this evening, I'm sure you guys will agree with me as well. We kind of want to acknowledge all the issues facing our world and society today. And, on behalf of all of us, we want to wish everyone to be healthy and safe as we work through these really crazy times in the world right now. So I'm sure all the judges are in agreement with me when we say that. We also want to say happy Pride Month as well. We hope you celebrate safely and responsibly. And we are very, very, very much looking forward to seeing what you guys have next. I want to thank all of y'all for being here with me today and hanging out.
Good job, Sam.
It is the Shot Remastered, baby. So on behalf of myself, Sam Cook, and all the judges, we thank you so much for watching. Have a good night.
Bye.
Sam.
No, the thing about, I said this to Jessie the other day. The thing about Jessie and her jokes, it's not the joke itself. It's Jessie's delivery of the joke and the fact that she's already laughing before she's even finished.
And the way she
the
lets
joke.
the punchlines hang is
That's
always
it.
great.
Jesse's laughing even
So
when she's
bad.
like the 3rd word into the joke. That's what makes it funny. You're not
yeah.
laughing at the punchline. You're laughing at Jessie laughing at the punchline.
And no,
It's like,
you're
why
laughing
did the
at
chicken
me.
cross the road?
guys,
Everyone listening?
guys.
Cute.
Oh,
Cute.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the opening of the episode.
There it is.
I
All right.
love it.
Thanks, folks.
Okay, this is
Okay.
great.
Guys,
Have a great
Ciao,
evening.
ciao.
bye, guys.
Bye.
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 hungry.
Oh, God. It's you and me.
It's just you and me.